Hi, my name's Courtney, and I was assigned Tinker as my tech tip. Tinker is a gaming program. Um, it has a lot of different stuff to offer, so I'm going to jump right into it because I can show you more than I can explain right away. So the main screen has my courses, it has programs. Now, the way that I personally learned how to use this website was just going through the courses. The courses are a good trial for students. They tell you what to do. They give you kind of the lowdown of what Tinker really is with the programming aspect of it. So it says moves the racer forward 400 dots, turns the racer right by 90 degrees. Each of these will tell them what to do. So it gives you the starting option, which is on start. So as soon as I press this, it's going to happen. So obviously I needed to go forward 400 feet to start. So you simply just drag it over. And then you're going to need it to turn so that it can go down. So turn 90 degrees. And then in order for it to get all the way to the bottom, where the end point is, you need to go forward 400. Press play. And you win. You go on to the next one, and it just keeps going more in depth. It'll go through 6 different levels, and they just get more and more complex where you're going to have to repeat things like this. This is the repeat block, which I think is pretty important because children can use it in their own programming later. So the repeat block, just you can put how many times you want it to repeat, but this one pre-programs it as 4 because that's what they want you to do. So you do like the same concept. Now, since you're making a square, which has 4 sides, you're going to repeat it 4 times. So I'm doing the same exact thing. I wanted to go forward 400 because I needed to get to point A. And I needed to turn right. And then I need to just keep repeating itself. So, and I have this repeat block up here. So it's going to repeat itself. So as you can see. And it's going to keep going back and forth and repeating to complete it. So I'm not going to go through any more of that. They have different levels and options. If you go to the home screen, you'll be able to see those. Now I think these would be useful again when learning the website or possibly recess. They can use this at home, which is an awesome educational opportunity, so they're not just sitting in front of a video game that doesn't have any importance. This kind of gives the impression that it's a game, but they're using their brains while doing it. And I think it's pretty sly. So if you go to the dashboard, this is where I showed you. So it's going to say I'm 33% complete. And as soon as you keep doing them, you earn experience points, which means you can keep going through more courses. It kind of gives them a goal. It gives them motivation to go somewhere. So I think that's pretty cool. Along with that, you can do your own projects. So you're creating your own motions that this game is creating. Now, it's not quite as complex, unless you guess you're really, really good at it. But it gives the children an opportunity to kind of get their ideas out, but on a computer. So where I would implement this is after reading a story, if you want them to retell what happened, or if they're creating their own story, maybe they're writing about something. This kind of gives them a visual. So if they had to write about what I wrote, they could talk about a castle and a dwarf and the dragon. I think it really will spark their imagination. And as a teacher, it's your job to inspire them, and this website gives you a little bit of a helping hand. Now, to the left, you see this control bar, and it has like the same things that you saw when we played the game. The on start, and like I said, it gets more complex. So when an up arrow pressed, after clicked, I'm not going to read through all those, but you can see you have literally endless amounts of options. You can make these characters do anything you want. The place I always start, because I think it's interesting, is the stage. So you're setting a background. So if they're doing storytelling, they're going to need something that's familiar to them. Like when they think of fairy tale, what do they think of? Because I think of a castle. So they give you so many options. You can do add background. Now, you can see over here, you can be reading or talking about anything. They have adventure, city, comics, and I did fantasy. And it has a lot. So through the woods, they can make a whole scene. They can make an entire story from this website. So that's the background. And I do background change in mine. So you'll see 2 backgrounds that I chose. And you can add as many actors as you want by clicking Add Actor. I already have 2 here. I have my dragon, and I have my dwarf. So for my original actor, which is the dragon, I always do an on start because I want them to do something like as soon as it starts. I'm going to kind of play mine so that you can get the idea. So that you can see as soon as it starts, my music starts. The happy dwarf turns into the dumb dwarf, and my dragon switch sides, as you can see. I'll replay that for you. And all I had to do was press play, because I programmed all of it, obviously. And I also have animations here. You see the background change. I have animations for both of them when I click. So I can have them see? I can have them do literally whatever I want. This is what I had them doing. And they can tell a story with this. So the dumb dwarf was on the way to the dragon when he got stopped by... he was on the way to the castle when he got stopped by the dragon. Sparks my imagination. I know it will theirs. Now, it has a teacher option, but I'm on the student, so you can really see theirs. But teachers have the option of assigning them different tasks. So as you saw, the beginning course that I went through was just one of the ones that Tinker offered. Teachers can create them or they can purchase them, depending on what you're willing to pay or what you're willing to take your time to create for their students to complete. And when they're completed, it keeps track of them. So it keeps track of what the student did, which really helps you because it's saying, did this person do it on time? Did they complete their project? How much time did they spend on their project? Which can be important for you to know because when they're at home coloring a picture for you or writing a story, you're not going to know how much time they spent on anything. So, whoops, sorry about that. So you go to My Projects and you say you have 1. And My Achievements, like I said, you get these experience points where you can kind of open up a whole world of whatever you want. And that's just a lowdown of what Tinker can do. It offers a ton. And lastly, the Explore, which I found interesting, and it also helped me learn a lot about this website, and I would recommend to my students. It has things that students have already done. So whether it's about art or we're adding in like grades K through 5, since we're early childhood education, you're seeing what kids that we're going to be teaching, their age, they're interested in what they're doing, like One Direction. They create these games and they give you directions. You can I think it's really going to inspire students to do well. You see they created maze. We have science. You can integrate any subject. You could do the life cycle. Oh, there's the life cycle of a frog. Speaking of which, right here they have germs, bees, light bulb, solar system, math. So Tinker does well at incorporating all content areas for the students. Or again, like I said, if they're at home and they just want to play a game, earn those experience points, they offer these courses that are making their brains go a little bit instead of just rotting behind a video game. And that's just some of what Tinker has to offer.